Hey guys, welcome to another Flip Classroom. On Monday, we spent some time talking about combining like terms. Um, for some of us, it's coming natural. We're getting it. For others, we're having a hard time. So we're going to spend next couple of days, to be honest, on working on combining like terms. Today, we're going to focus on GoMath. I think GoMath does some good things, and like we said, we're always going to try to do a GoMath lesson at least once or twice for each standard. And so today we're going to focus on 10.3. I'm going to start on page 279. So yeah, we're skipping a few of those front pages, but they're not really what we're trying to work on. They're combining multiple standards, and we're just going to focus on the one standard today. Okay, so we're going to start on page, like I said, 279, all right? And we're going to focus on, I'll give you a minute to get there and I'll just kind of talk for a minute. We're going to focus on A and C. We're going to avoid B because we're not going to get into the distributed property yet. So we're going to focus on combining like terms for A and C. Then we'll do part of the guided practice, part of the independent practice. If you've got time, then we're going to get you on some Prodigy and practice some of those skills there, okay? So we're going to look at A here, and this is just combined like terms. So we've got 6x, I got to get my writing tool here. So we've got 6x squared minus 4x squared, okay? So remember, we're going to focus on our two things. Hopefully you have your notes of it out and you're paying attention, but we're going to focus on two things. Remember, we're going to focus on the variables. So our variables match. And then we're going to focus on our exponents. Remember, our exponents have to match, and they do. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. So when we combine exponents, the exponents don't change. 6x squared is 6x squared. And 4x squared, it's not going to be to the fourth power. It's staying the same. We're combining them. Okay, so it's a new concept. So we have 6x minus 4x, and we get 2x because we combine those terms. And we're just combining like terms. So squared stays squared. Okay? So this whole nasty problem will eventually break down to 2x squared. And you can kind of see them break it down here, down into here, minus the distributed property. We're not really using that today. That's kind of but we took a different approach. So we've got 2x squared. Okay? So we're going to move on down to C here. All right? And we've got y plus 11x plus 7y minus 7x. So remember, if you guys didn't forget already, we're going to use like underline, you can use boxes, you can use circles, triangles, whatever you're feeling. I'm going to start with underline. So I'm going to always start with my first one. So I see a y here, and I see a plus 7y here. So think about this as just y, and then your friend comes along and gives you 7 more y, you're going to have 8y. Okay? Then I'm going to move on to my x's. I'm going to circle my plus 11x. I'm going to circle my minus 7x. So this is like a positive 11x minus 7x. You can use your fingers. 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're looking at 4x. That's a positive 4x. Okay? So the thing that I've noticed that it kind of trips you guys up the most are the signs, all right? The concept to you guys, I think you get. You're like, okay, I'm combining my y's, I'm combining my x's, blah, blah, blah. But you're trying to figure out, well, why is it a positive or why is it a negative? Okay? Anytime you break it down and it's a positive number, after you do the math, as long as it's a positive number, you're always going to put a plus sign in front of it. If any time you were to do the math and it ended up being a negative number, you were going to need to do a minus sign. Okay? And that's kind of a rule. If you want to write that down in your notes, that's fine. Okay, so those are kind of our notes for the day. We did 2 quick ones. So let's go to the guided practice. All right, And you've got some things to do. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what I want you to do. All right. So I do not want you to do all these things. All right. So I do want you to do 9, 10, and 11, and 12 up here. Okay. You do not need to do 10. Okay. So you're going to do 9, 11, and 8. I'm sorry, 8, 9, 11, and 12. Okay. Then on down here, you guys are going to do 7 and 8. Okay. That's it on this one. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause it, and then I want you to work these problems. Okay. And then I'm going to give you the answers when you're done. What I want you to do is I want you to focus on I want to see you guys when I come back are things underlined? Are things circled? Are you combining like terms? Are you identifying them? If you're at least being able to identify them, we can work with that. If you're even having a hard time identifying like terms, then we got to go back to the drawing board, okay? So I want you guys to work 9, 11, and 12, 7, and 8, okay? When you're done, I want you to raise your hand, and then I'm going to cover, well, let's see how I'm going to cover, I'll cover these on this page. Then when you get to the next page, we'll cover, that's where you're going to raise your hand. So pause this now, go 9, 11, and 12, 7 and 8 below, and then press play, and we'll talk those over, okay? Go. All right, let's go over this. Let's cover what we did. So I'm just going to kind of work through this pretty quickly. I've got 8y minus 3y. Anytime these are easily matching, so I've got 8 minus 3, I should have 5y. Okay, now this one breaks it down a little bit harder. Okay, so I'm going to erase this, get this out of the way. Okay, so we got exponents here, man. It's a little bit different, but it's okay because this is 4a to the 5th power and 2a to the 5th power. So our exponents match 5 and 5, and our variables match a and a. Remember, our exponents never change. They're going to stay 5. So we're just going to focus right now on 4a minus 2a. 4a minus 2a is 2a. And remember, it's going to just stay to the, if you can barely see that, that's a 5. I know it's hard to see. To the 5th power. Then we can circle, let's circle this whole thing. Okay, I've got 4b plus another b. That's going to be a positive 5b. Okay, so don't let those exponents, I know they look big, but just once you notice the exponents match, then you're just focused, you can ignore them. You're just focusing on doing the math now and combining those terms, and then you know the exponent's going to be the same. All right, let's do the last. We're going to do 8m plus 14 minus 12 plus 4n. All right, so I've got an m and I've got an n. Well, guess what? Those are not compatible. I've got a 14 and a 12. Those are compatible. So before I move on, I want to write down my 8m. Okay. Then I'm going to underline my plus 14 and my minus 12. All right. So if I have 14 minus 12, I have a positive 2. And then notice I don't have another 4n. So I'm just going to do what it tells me. Plus 4n. Look at this. Okay, we can box this guy. All right. So we broke it down. These are unlike terms. So they just come on down. You just drag them on down. You can't forget them, but you can bring them on down. So I've got 8m plus what I combined, my two constants, plus what I had left over, and there you are. Okay. Moving on down. This one's another easy one. I kind of like this one. You have 32y plus 12 more y. Notice the variables are the same. No exponents. You're stuck with 44y. Okay. One more. We got 12 plus 3x minus x minus 12. Well, I've got some constants. This is good. I've got a constant here, and I've got a constant here. Ooh, this is a good one. I like this one. So I've got 12. minus another 12, guess what I get? Nothing. I'm left with 0. Okay, so you could write 0 if you really wanted to, if that helps you understand it. But remember, if you don't, 0 is 0. You don't have to write anything. Okay, and then I'm going to circle my other group here. All right, so I've got positive 3x minus an x. So I've got 3 x's, you take one away, and I'm stuck with a positive 2x. This would also be just 2x. Okay, for now, I would accept both. 12 minus 12 is 0. If that helps you control your space, that's fine. If you just wrote, hey, 12 and 12 is 0, I'm not going to write 0, which is appropriate. You can just write 2x. Okay. All right, so you guys are ready to roll, man. We've covered quite a bit. So you're going to go to the independent page on 281, all right? And again, we're not doing all these, remember? So we're going to go down to, you can cross out these top pieces. We're going to focus on 15 through 24. I do not want you to do 24. Anything with parentheses I don't want you to do is what I'm getting to here. So no on 19, no on 21, no on 23, and I think we're good. So here's how this is going to work. You guys are going to work 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, and 22 on your own. Okay? Then when you're done, you're going to raise your hand. The sub will come and take a look and make sure what you're doing is right. They may grade it in front of you, or they can have you go to the back and grade it yourself. You need to get it 100% accurate. So if you made any errors, you need to go back to your seat and fix it. Odds are you're going to need a whiteboard, or you're going to need a paper pencil or something so that you can combine terms. I don't think we're quite ready to do this in our head yet, any mental math. Okay. Once you get 100% accuracy, then you can move on to Prodigy. Prodigy is going to have you combining like terms as well. So make sure you're working on that. Make sure you're writing down any really good questions. We're going to hit the ground running when I come back on Tuesday. We're going to work on a little mixture between GoMath and Beyond Textbooks, so some paperwork. And then we're going to be focused on maybe testing Thursday or Friday. So you really need to be focused on combining those like terms, looking for like variables and like exponents, and then working on positive and negative signs. Okay? All right. Best of luck to you. Ask questions, rewind, play as many times as you need to. Remember, this is for your learning. And good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.